Hey, welcome back. So this week, the war with the pests is over. Not so much because they're gone, but because I've kind of given up. They don't seem to be killing anything yet, and the stuff that I'm using to try to get rid of them don't seem to be working. So, kind of at a ceasefire now. But uh, I have found a couple of visitors. Meet the caterpillars. There are 4 in here. This is Hungry. That is Rapido. He's the newest of the bunch. And this down here is Mungry. He is the biggest by far. And there is a 4th one in here, but his name is very apt. He's named Tiny. I'll put a little picture of him up so you can see just how tiny he was when I found him yesterday. But they were eating, I think there were, 3 of them were eating cabbages when I found them, and 1 was eating a Brussels sprout. So kind of put them in that little terrarium because I feel bad, I can't kill them. And then I put some kale leaves in there to keep them busy. But they're our new friends, our new mascots, if you will. But anyway, here's the garden video for this week. And I think, again, I'm going to be doing a condensed version later, so check the description if you've made it this far to see where it starts. So, here's the zucchini this week. We've gotten, I want to say 8 male flower blossoms and eaten them because they've flowered with no female flowers. There was another female flower that bloomed after the video last week, but there were no male flowers at the same time, and they only stay open for a day, so it was too late for that. And there's no female flowers coming for a while, although there are some down in here if you can start picking them out. But they'll be a little bit till they show up. But it looks like there's a decent amount of male flowers coming at the same time, although it also looks like there's going to be a few coming up before they show up. But hopefully we get some at the same time so they can actually get pollinated and start giving us zucchinis. Little tomato guy over here is not looking super healthy, so I'm not sure if he's gonna make it, but I'm gonna keep trying. The marigolds, pretty exciting this week. Some of them, see if I can find them, some of them have their first little buds coming out. You can see there. This one over here has a little one, and there's one over by the jungle and the carrots that also has one. I'll show you that one when I get over there. The garlic, still looking great. Watched a video this week of when you're supposed to harvest them, and it looks like they've still got a ways to go, but still looking forward to them. Son of tall skinny guy here is getting huge. He's almost as tall skinny guy. So I'm really proud of him. He's got multiple sets of flowers. He's got this one that's opened already. I think he might have some tomatoes, but I'm not sure yet. We'll know for sure in the coming week, and I'll update you on next week for that. He has another set of buds coming in right there, and he's got a bigger set up here, so he's rearing to go. Tall skinny guy has his set right here that is all opened, and another set right there that's coming in. But that's all he's got, is just this one tall skinny one. Bell peppers here have I think this one unfortunately didn't get pollinated, so it's not growing, but this one I'm hoping did, because the blossom fell off, but I'm not sure yet. I've been trying I've been trying to help along the pollination with several of the plants. I've been looking up online of how to hand pollinate stuff, and thankfully most of them, it's pretty easy because they're self-pollinators. All you have to do is kind of vibrate the leaves and the pollen will disperse. Plus it's also been pretty windy around here, which is normally how they pollinate. So I'm not super worried about them getting pollinated, but I've taken the liberty of trying to help them along just in case. Like all the tomato flowers, the bell pepper, what else? The beans a little bit, but we'll see. Eggplant here. Eggplant here is looking real good. They're growing pretty well. Can't wait till they start growing up rather than out. But speaking of that, our little bell peppers over here have finally started getting a little taller, which is of course super exciting. Really happy. Really excited. I love seeing them grow up like that, especially since we started these guys from seeds. Same with the eggplants, and same with the little Roma tomatoes. They're getting pretty big. They're almost as big as you would find them like at a store if you were going to buy them. So I'm really happy about that. It won't be very long until we start seeing some Roma tomatoes. The better boy is doing awesome. He's really loving having this new space here, and he has responded in like fashion, because he has tons of flowers all open. Just everywhere you look on here, he's got flowers, and as you can see there, he has officially his first tomato. It won't focus, but there we go. Look at that cutie. Anyway, the champion over here is very much liking his new spot. He's grown a bunch since last week. He also has some flowers, though not as many as the other two. But he has several sets getting ready to open, as well as some that have opened. I haven't found his first tomato yet, but there are some possible candidates that are looking kind of more fat than the other ones. But we'll see. The early girl over here also very much enjoying having this space now in the new planters. She has all sorts of flowers open, and she also officially has her next tomato coming in here, as well as the two before. I think she has a few actually. Like this looks like a tomato. I think that one's going to be, and I think that one as well. But can't see them yet. And of course, our two tomatoes from last week and the week before. They're looking beautiful. They're starting to lighten on the bottom. I'm so excited. Our carrot tub that we showed off last week has germinated. You can see little tiny carrot seedlings coming up here, which my mom and I are just over the moon. We're super excited because we kind of really love carrots here. So actually having carrots is going to be super exciting. The parsley hasn't grown too much, unfortunately, but I don't know if he's doing bad or he's doing good. I don't know. I'm not good at growing herbs, but if you have any suggestions, let me know. The jungle over here still doing incredible, and as you can see, the onion flowers have opened. They haven't quite flowered yet, or the flowers haven't quite opened yet on most of them, but when they do, they're just gorgeous. I think there's one on here. Yeah, you can see that one up at the top that's opened. So just imagine all of them opening like that. It's actually a really pretty flower. So excited to get some seeds from them. And then of course the huge onion over here, just look at how tall he is. He's getting real close to opening too. You can already see the little bulges from the flowering heads inside there. So by this time next week, he's definitely going to be open. The carrots have been cut back a little bit, or the carrot tops rather, because we harvested some of the bigger leaves for salad earlier. And let me tell you, they were delicious. The sprouted onions that we planted are down there. They're growing real well. And I think we're going to be looking to harvest some of their leaves to use as green onions before they flower, because I don't know, they're just yellow onions. Don't really care too much about planting them. The sage here is bigger than ever, and we still have not harvested it. I promise someday we'll harvest it, but yeah, just have to find something to do with it. The beans are trying to escape, as you can see. They're just growing off into oblivion. Over there, they've moved onto the cucumber trellis because they've run out of space. But they had just a ton of flowers this week. And some of them are turning yellow, as you can see, which it generally means they've been pollinated, though not 100% from what I've been able to tell. But they start withering, and you can kind of see back there, if it'll focus, see that little green pip behind the flower? I believe that's a bean, but a little more officially, if I can focus, come on. I'll get this for you, I promise. There we go. That is officially our first bean right there. He's too cute. He's tiny. But he speaks of much bigger things to come, because just look at how many flowers have shown up just on this one. And there's more over here. There's even, I'll get to him in a bit later, but one of our little tiny guys in the other buckets actually has flowers. It's a little early for him, but he couldn't wait. Oh, the other marigold over here that I was telling you about with the bud, it's right there. The cucumbers are doing awesome. Super excited, because this one is, first of all, actually climbing this, which is just wonderful to see. But also, we've had several flowers open. You can see some male flowers back there, but more importantly, this female flower. And as I told you, I believe it got pollinated, but I did everything I could to help it along. So if this isn't pollinated, I don't know what will be. But it's just, I'm so excited. I love cucumbers. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that growing. And of course there's more flowers coming on both of them. This one actually had a male flower open, you can see down there. The other bean tubs surprised me, because as you can tell, they are not in fact bush beans. They have their little tendrils coming. So they are in fact pole beans, which is fabulous, because it means that they're actually going to use this trellis. This guy I helped, because I mean he's not going to reach all the way over there on his own, but this guy is actually climbing on his own, and he seems to be doing pretty well. I think they like having the little thin ones. My only fear is they'll just grow straight up and run out of space real quick. But it looks like, in fact, all of these are pole beans, which I'm really happy about. So I'm just trying to imagine like this big trellis over here just covered in beans, and that's a wonderful thought. Oh, and as I was telling you, the pinto bean down here, you can see, has his own flowers. but like I said, I think it's too early for him. We'll see if he gives some beans. Anyway, he's a pinto bean, so they would probably just let him dry out. I don't know. Maybe I'll just eat that as a green bean if it actually grows. This is our last fabric grow bag, and it's a little pumpkin that grew from the nursery over there and sprouted a couple of days ago, so we transplanted him in here. And he looks all nice and cozy with all that mulch around him. But we have big expectations for him because my mom wants him to fill up this whole back area. We'll see how he does. The potatoes have been moved into the leftover planters from the tomatoes. And the little ones have finally started growing again since we transplanted them. So I think they made it just fine. The ones that were growing before are still growing wonderfully. The 3 little red tomato plants are almost as tall as the original one. And you should be able to see a little more clearly the little flower buds. They still haven't really gotten close to opening yet, but there they are. And this week that apparently potatoes are ready to harvest a couple of weeks after they stop flowering, not when they start flowering. So again, it's going to be a little while till we harvest some potatoes, which is a little disappointing, but hey, if you're gardening without patience, what are you doing? So that's the potatoes. We don't have much in the nursery anymore, but the carrot tops that I showed you last week, these guys are doing pretty well. And wait a minute, that's not a carrot top. It looks like a Roma tomato seedling that just kind of popped up here a few days ago. I don't know where he came from, but there he is. And I don't know how well he's going to do because it's real shallow. Not great for a tomato, but there he is. The other carrot top tub is not doing so well. I'm not sure why. Some of them seem to be doing okay, but the middle ones not so much. The early girl cutting is taking off. It's growing real well. And I don't know if you caught a glimpse, but she does, in fact, have little flower buds growing. Why? I don't know. But there they are. I'm going to leave them because I'm a softie for the little flowers. I know I should pinch them off and let her keep growing, but Our little seedlings over here, not growing too much just because I think they don't have too much space, although the bell pepper is kind of as big as its friends in the other planter, but I don't know. The champion cutting is doing okay. Not great, but okay. And the two other little pumpkin seedlings have not died yet, so that's something. I don't know how well they're doing, but this one's got a little bit of growth there, so there's hope. Although we don't really have a place for them, so I don't know what's going to happen to them. The radish over here has gone past the flowering stage and is now working on, if you can see these little pods here, is working on seeds. So that's really, really exciting. I'm super happy that he's actually doing something, because for just this radish top to be doing all this is just, I find it incredible. The herbs are doing fabulous. Look at this little basil. Oh, he's so cute. And these little mini ones over here also doing super well. The cilantro is doing excellent. They're almost ready to be transplanted. And the chives are doing pretty well also. They have some new leaves coming up. I don't know if you can see that. And this tree is so good at spreading its seeds. They are everywhere. Oh, here is where I found at least one of the caterpillars. I think two, but I'm not sure. The chard is doing pretty well, but as you can see, the cauliflowers was getting eaten by a caterpillar. And I think that was the first one that I found. Our last pumpkin in the stump is doing okay. His healthy leaf over here is starting to turn a little yellow, so I'm getting a little worried. And he's not growing too big, so I'm worried that he's just run out of space in here. But I mean, that's the whole experiment, isn't it? Is to see if he can grow in a stump. So I'm hoping he can pull through, because he's still got some stuff growing. So we'll see. The cauliflower and the Brussels sprouts in the shade are doing awesome. I think they really like it here. Look at just look at how much they're growing. It's beautiful. I don't know what that is. This is actually the first time I've seen it. I don't even know what it is. It doesn't look like a Brussels sprout. Huh. Anyways, the cauliflower also doing awesome. I mean, I think these are doing the best out of all of our Brussels sprouts and cauliflower. Because the ones over here were getting eaten by caterpillars. Imagine that. You can see some damage on here. This is where I found Tiny. I wish I could show him to you, but I just can't find him. He's too small. But I found him because of the holes here. He just kind of appeared on the other side. The cauliflower over here is getting real tall. But it also was getting eaten by caterpillars. There's some white flies too. Not great. But like I said, I'm just kind of over it. But the kale is still doing incredible. We've taken a lot. You can see they're getting kind of leggy because we've been taking a lot of leaves. Not only for the caterpillars, but also for ourselves. And the leafy greens over here, I mean, just look at them. They're doing awesome. And they're finally, some of them turning a little darker. So it's not just all light green. But, sorry for the plane. I have a big surprise, hopefully for next week, for this section, but you'll have to wait and see. The peas and the spinach are doing great. Look at how tall they're getting. Too cool. Still no signs of any flowers or anything, which is somewhat disappointing, but I mean, they're not that big. So I don't know when I should start expecting flowers. I haven't looked that up yet. But the spinach is doing pretty alright. Look at this guy here. Just doing great. And discovered, I think this past week, that my mom's fig tree actually has many little figs coming in. You can see them over here. Just look at how cute they are. There's a couple more over here. Nice little big one down there. A few more here. I mean, they're just everywhere, all along here. And my mom really excited by that, because she's been waiting for figs from this fig tree for I think years, and it's only given like 2 figs, so she's really excited. Anyway, that's the garden for this week, and like I said, there's a pretty big thing coming next week. I think a few of you already know what that is, but I'm super excited and really happy with it. So I hope you're excited too. Anyway, here's the condensed version. Zucchini, little tomato cutting, marigolds, garlic, son of tall skinny guy, tall skinny guy, bell pepper, other little green bell pepper, red bell peppers, eggplant, Roma tomatoes, Better Boy, Champion, Early Girl, Carrot Tub, Jungle, Big Beans, cucumbers, small beans, pumpkin, potatoes, carrot tops, Early Girl cutting, seedlings, champion cutting, pumpkin survivors, watermelon radish, herbs, cauliflower and chard, stumpkin, cauliflower and Brussels sprouts in the shade, cauliflower and Brussels sprouts in the back garden, kale, leafy greens, peas, spinach, figs, so that's it for this week. Again, look forward to next week and the big surprise. But see you then.